What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Having Said That show. I am your co-host, Adi, alongside Jay.
What's up, guys?
Jay, you know, I've been in a long-distance relationship for the last year, bro.
Yeah. It's been hard, man.
It's been so hard, man.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, I'm a rapper. I'm a musician. I go
Yeah.
out, meet hella bitches.
Yeah, it's true. It's
And
true.
sometimes my girlfriend tends to get a little insecure.
Mhm.
She's like, you know, when you go out with the boys, what are you actually doing?
Yeah.
So I thought we'll just show her. So this episode, we're going to pretend like we're in a boys' night out because this is
Okay.
legit what happens.
Okay, let's go, man. I know Aman has a couple of things prepared for us, so let's get into that, man.
Yes, sir. So the boys' night episode, and no nail painting in this one. but, so I figured that if we're doing boys' night,
Yeah.
it's only fair if we include all the boys. So without you guys knowing, I've reached out to a bunch of your boys, a bunch of my boys.
Oh, man.
And I've gotten them to send me prompts in. Okay, some of them are from Sid and me, and then some are just from the
Okay,
boys.
okay.
But and this is the part I think we can cut out. So a lot of the responses I got were like slightly inappropriate, and the one I got repeatedly from like a lot of people was tits or ass.
Okay.
And I don't think we should record this because
Okay.
we're objectifying women.
Now that you said it, we have to record
can
it,
cut-
bro.
I mean, like,
no,
we cut
no,
this
no.
out.
Our viewers should know that we keep it a buck.
Aman is sweating right now, bro. Like, dude, you know what, dude? I found this out recently. If you are like overly feminist, and if you are like overtly like in support of like women's rights, they don't like that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do not like that shit.
Wait,
I have a
what the
specific
fuck?
example in mind, but
Yeah, yeah,
apparently
yeah.
that's like a huge red flag.
To who?
Like, as in, like, if you are like overtly feminist, if you have to like tell people like, hey
Oh.
guys, I'm a feminist, I believe in like whatever.
But
they
Aman
don't like
doesn't do
shit.
that.
No, not Aman. No. I wasn't saying Aman, but like it reminded me of something. So
I
was just
understand.
like,
That's sometimes when the guys, you feel like he might be just pretending, like, you know
yeah,
how
just to pretend to be like super woke. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, we know Aman's woke because he's insufferable around and without women.
Yeah.
But Aman is like a true feminist, you know? But I'm talking about the people who.
all
go
of us
out
are
of their way-
feminists,
No,
bro.
yeah,
You're-
we're all
don't
feminists.
fucking
We're all
include us in your
We're all
shit,
feminists.
bro.
No, we are all feminists. But like, if you feel the need to kind of like go out of your way to be like, hey man, I'm an ally, you know, like, I mean, like, were you not?
Nah, I am
before?
an ally.
No, but
close.
that's the thing. But that's the thing. It's implied, right? Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to go out of your way and say it.
Yeah.
So
the implication is
it's
that.
the.
Man, we gotta pop by the department store, pick up the mattress. And I wanna get a nice one too. You know what I'm saying?
The what? The mattress? What do we need a mattress for?
What do you mean, what do we need a mattress for? Why in the hell do you think we just spent all that money on a boat? The whole purpose of buying the boat in the first place was to get the ladies nice and tipsy topside so we can take them to a nice, comfortable place below deck and, you know, they can't refuse because of the implication.
Oh, okay. You had me going there for the first part. The second half kind of threw me.
Well, dude, think about it. She's out in the middle of nowhere with some dude she barely knows. You know, she looks around her. What does she see? Nothing but open ocean. There's nowhere for me to run. What am I gonna do? Say no?
Okay, that that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No,
But the thing
right.
is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Now, you've said that word implication a couple of times. What implication?
The implication that things might go wrong for her if she refuses to sleep with me.
Okay,
Hey,
so
go ahead, Aman.
he already went
Well,
ahead.
I'm not. We'll get to that later. Let's start.
Okay, we'll get to it later. So stick around to know the fascinating pick.
Answer. That doesn't matter, but okay. So
He's like, stick around and know the answer. It doesn't matter anyway. It's okay. Like,
I mean, okay. So here's the one that started it all. This is like what gave us the idea for the episode.
okay.
And it's because our other producer Sid
Yep.
sent this like series of questions on our group that started a bit of a debate, and then bled into like our other group chats with some of our other boys, which is, do you pee in the shower?
Yeah, I think.
100%.
Yeah, we were both in agreement.
And
on
I
this.
don't. Right? I think
Yeah.
it's fucking
I find
weird.
that super weird that you don't though.
Yeah.
Piss in the toilet. Like,
No,
what are
that's
you
because
doing?
Aman takes baths, bro. He doesn't shower. he draws.
he has like a bath with his book and his fucking
Yeah.
pursue on the
I
side.
can imagine
you know,
him in a
like-
silk robe, like derobing, lighting the candles.
Bubbles or no bubbles, Aman? I don't know.
If I'm having a bath, it has to be with bubbles.
Wait,
Oh,
okay.
okay,
What is
fair
your
enough. I mean,
rationale
I
for
guess.
not being in the shower?
Bro, just piss in the toilet. It's like you're cleaning yourself, and then literally the waste of your body you're putting like around you. There's no way you're pissing directly in the drain. There's a scent. It's weird, bro. Don't piss in the shower.
Showers are self-cleaning though, bro.
Okay,
They are.
First
They
of all,
literally your soap.
First of all, I agree with you. They are self-cleaning.
are.
It's not like you're holding your leg out and you're trying to like piss on it, bro.
But you're like pissing like near you, and there's gonna be splashback. Just piss in the toilet. It's designed for that. It's right.
We're trying to save water
So-
here, and we're trying to save the environment. So, like,
Straight up.
if you were really woke,
Who is really woke on this podcast, bro? I don't even know anymore, dude.
I don't piss in the shower. I just think it's weird. We can ask the fans.
So if you really have to pee, you either hold it until your entire shower is done, or you are soaped up, get out of the shower, pee, and then go back in. That's what you're telling me.
Deadass,
That's
bro.
super
that's
weird.
so weird.
That's super weird.
Bro, like if you have to shit, you'd rather shit before you go into the shower. 'Cause
Yeah.
then you're just
Okay.
clean.
Yeah. Okay. Where do we all land on like shitting in the shower? No, that's that's red light, right?
Nah,
That's
bro,
where
it's
we
self-
all
it's
draw the line.
self-cleaning,
Oh,
man.
it is self-cleaning. I mean, if you open up the drain and you aim well,
Guys, let us know. Do you guys pee in the shower?
and if you do, we'll give you a free HST mug. You know?
We have two guys behind the cameras. Yes or no?
You pee in the shower? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Dude, bro, come on, bro. It is, dude. I'm telling you, it was alarming that you said no. Like, I genuinely did not know people who came out, peed, and then went back in.
Okay, next
So,
question.
So going off that, the next question that Sid asked was, if you're on a public place and you're wearing a belt, do you unbuckle your pants and like pull it down and piss, or do you just piss through the zip?
The
I mean,
people who piss through the zip are fucking
weirdos, dude.
Weirdos.
I piss
Super
through my
weird, bro.
zip.
Super weird.
That
Bro,
is
it's like
so
it's
weird,
it's
bro.
very weird, bro. No,
No.
dude. It's very weird, man.
use your zip for then, bro?
To pull your fucking pants down.
To
dude.
get into your
Like,
pants, you
yeah.
need some leverage
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
in.
yeah.
If it's just all the way zipped, you cannot get into your pants.
Why does your underwear have a slit?
No, okay. All underwears have slits, but like the effort to like, it's too much effort, bro.
Bro, I guess little things are easier to handle. Okay, let's get away from the pissing ones.
First question from one of the boys. This is from Krish. Shout out to Krish. Should you be brutally honest with your boys, or should you just support the homies and like assume they'll figure out the shit on their own and just like be there for them, you know?
In my opinion, I think it's a little bit of both, and it depends on how close you are to the person. Because if you're brutally supporting someone like 100%, even when they fuck up, then you're not being a true friend. You know what I'm saying? So like, support them, and if they're going through like a rocky period, still support them. But if they're flat out wrong or they're doing something that you don't like, then tell them about it.
Okay, I was kind of hearing it from the context of like, if they're doing something for work, like let's say we're doing this podcast, a lot of
Okay.
people don't understand
Yeah.
the value or anything of it, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a lot of our friends don't understand it. In that case,
Hmm.
I would rather have a friend who's who's not brutally honest, who's just supportive. Because maybe they don't understand this world.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah.
give them the right to give me advice on it. Because
Mhm.
if they're my friend, if they think that, okay, I have a good head on my shoulders, I'll fucking figure this shit out.
Yeah, so I think that's where he was coming from as well. He's like, do you kind of just let them ride it out? And I feel like, dude, people who are brutally honest sometimes just use it as an excuse for being an asshole. Like, you ever come across like a person like that? Like,
You know who said that, right?
who?
So casually cruel in the name of being
Oh
honest.
my god, bro. Dude, just get this fucking guy off the show, man. No, okay, I understand. Like, I feel like, dude, there's a line and there's a way to say things, and people will use that and just be like, oh no, I'm just telling you the truth, bro. I'm just being truthful. Do you not want me to be truthful? And then they will say the most outrageously rude thing that you've ever heard in your entire life, bro.
A lot of people also speak from their experience. So like if they've done something and failed at it and they think that it's not possible,
Yeah.
they'll put that shit on you.
Yeah.
When we're completely different people. Like don't put me in your boat.
Yeah.
Let me try, let me fail, and
Yeah.
then I'll figure it out.
I guess a lot of the times we relate to people based on our own experiences, like you said. So like it's based off my biases and my experience with that thing. So honestly, to answer Vyas's question, I think we should say that you'd rather a friend be supportive and let you figure it out.
Yeah, if it's like a work thing, if
Yeah.
it's life stuff,
Yeah, if
like
you've
you
done
said,
some fucked up shit,
yeah.
then just level with him. But otherwise, it's fine.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think sometimes you say you're brutally honest and like you'll show people something you love and they'll like offer criticism because they think they have to. I think that's like a bit.
But that's still cool. That's not even brutally honest.
No, I'm saying in the sense that like, I think it was like Ed Sheeran or one of these big artists used to say like, people are so afraid of being yes men to these bigger guys that sometimes they'll like purposely try and like cut down shit that they've made. And it's like, I actually did care about this. I don't, I think this is good. Like I'm showing it to you. I don't know. I think there's a line. I also think like if your friend is doing something that you really think is like fucked up, you can't just be like, oh, he's my boy, like he'll do it. I think you should sort of say it, but like you shouldn't assume that they need to follow
Yeah,
your.
context matters. And I do this with Aditya all the time. Like sometimes like I will try to find something wrong with the song even when I like it, because I don't want to come out and say like, oh dude, this is great, because that's like usually what I say, because I don't have like a music background enough to critique it any other way. You know what I mean?
Also, if he just says, "Oh, that song is great," I feel like he's being lazy in listening. He's not he's not telling me what he
exactly.
actually
So it really
thinks.
matters, bro. Context matters a lot.
I guess so.
But I will say this though: brutally honest people will usually use that as a guise for just being assholes. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay, this next one is from Neville. Is social media a good place to get your information?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean everything is on social media right now.
But is it? I think his argument is that it's not like verifiable. Like people can just gas and that misinformation spreads.
Misinformation spreads through mainstream media as well, bro. I mean every
Yeah.
single. I mean, dude, honestly, at this point, like you don't know who's running what and who's being paid by who and who's being funded by who. So like for example, like Tufts University just released a food study which said that Lucky Charms was healthier than ground
Eggs.
beef
And
eggs.
eggs, bro.
So like I mean, are we supposed to take that as a fact because it came from like a university and like it had like peer review studies and stuff? Who funded the fucking experiment in the first place? Who actually did that? We know for a fact, if you are like a logical person, you know that that is indeed not the case. So who knows, man? News is fucked up. Like we live in a world full of biases. There's always something to gain from the other side. So
The reason I think
I don't know.
social media is a good place to get info is sometimes you can get in touch with people who may have not had the platform, and then they can share like a very localized version of their story. So if someone in Delhi, in some particular colony of Delhi, is talking about what's happening there, I trust it way more than if a news source is reporting on it, because they have to pay their employees, they have to get certain amount of clicks. This guy's living that life and he can just story it and put it up there. So I enjoy the fact that we can just go to anyone on social media and find something.
Yeah, I think I'm with you guys. I think just for the sake of boys' night debate, I think the idea there is like headlines have become so sensationalized
Yeah.
and there's so much information
Yeah.
that sometimes because you're accessing it online, I mean, you go and do your research for this Lucky Charms thing, right? But people can just read a headline, and then that sort of becomes like Chinese whispers, and then the information's it's like
Yeah.
you give access to dangerous sources.
Yeah.
Well, the pros is you also give access to like the actual
But the
sources.
reason Jay also found out about this study is because Joe Rogan
Rogan,
posted
yeah.
about it in a critical manner.
Yeah.
So he was like, "How is this real?" That's how we found out about the fact that studies like this even happen.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have followed Tufts University to find
No,
out.
I didn't. I did not go to that university page.
Yeah.
But like, so speaking about Joe Rogan, also with mainstream narratives, he calls a lot of people who disagree or are not aligned with the mainstream narrative, and they don't have as big of a voice because everything they say is discounted by the mainstream narrative because it doesn't follow that. So I feel like, I don't know, the more opinions, the better, right? Because if you go to like one news source, you're kind of just hearing it from their side. So the more opinions, the better, because you can kind of form your own. You're not like funneled into just one.
So this one, I think Jay has wanted to talk about before, and it was one of the questions. Steroid use. What are your thoughts?
Okay.
Let's tell the viewers, bro. We know we're gonna do steroids
Yeah,
in our late 30s.
100%.
You guys are?
For sure.
We had a talk about this literally yesterday when we were like in a sesh together, and it was like, why would you not want to optimize your hormones past a certain point? Steroid use, it comes with a lot of context, right? It's like, are you blasting? What compounds are you taking? Are you taking TRT? Are you just leveling shit out? There's a lot of stuff that goes into this conversation.
Jay, we have a lot of young guys watching the show.
Yeah.
I want you to tell them the disadvantages of doing it before you're at that age where you actually need it.
Well, I guess the disadvantages would be messing up your entire system, like your hormonal balance, everything. I think until like you're 29, you shouldn't even consider taking steroids unless you're competing in bodybuilding or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the fact that you have to take like a PCT, like a post cycle therapy, right after, because your natural test production would tank after taking like
Yeah.
a dose of like anabolics or running it for like 6 to 8 weeks. I feel like it's just not worth it. Like, what are you doing it for if you're not competing, right? To look good, it's going to
Yeah.
last you 6 months and it's going to go away. If you build muscle naturally over like 15, 20 years, that shit's going to stay until you're about 45, 50, when obviously it starts to decline. And that is probably where you want to consider TRT or some sort of like hormonal treatment just to keep you at baseline, right? I'm not advocating like you blast fucking steroids through your ass, but like it's also ignorant to dismiss it completely, because we live in a culture, especially in India, where protein shakes are thought of as steroids. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
bro.
no, straight up. Like, what, when you're a young kid, you're like 14, 15 years old, and you ask your parents, like, oh, should I hop on this? Should I hop on that? And they're just like, oh, no, protein shake, that's steroids. They don't, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's like dairy. Like, it's literally not a steroid. It's not an anabolic compound. So I would say do your research. Don't be close-minded, and just figure this shit out, you know? Because it's not as cut and dry as like, oh, do you want to take steroids?
What is the, like, I'm completely clueless about all of this. What is the, is it like a cosmetic thing? Is that why you need to do it? Like, what is the issue with losing muscle mass?
There's a lot of things that happen when you age. A lot of them involve like, you know, your bone density decrease. Like, see, a lot of the reason when old people fall, right? Why do you think their bones just shatter? Right? It's because their bone density just drops, right? They aren't able to live, you know, active enough lifestyles. We're pumping them with like antibiotics and pills and pharmaceuticals, and we won't get it. We'll get into that later. But like a healthier alternative would be to take control of your physical health much earlier. Why start when you're 18? Why kind of play that catch up game when you're 80? It's so much tougher than if you start at like 30, 35.
I think in like 10, 15 years, the conversation around like steroid use will become as regular as, hey, you're taking like a B12 or vitamin D supplement to make sure that, you know, your energy levels are good through the day. It's the same. It's a similar thing when your test drops or whatever, when you're 35, 40, energy levels drop, you have more mood swings, you're just not living the best quality of life. So
Yeah, I
if
think
you
that as
have
well.
that supplement
Yeah.
to help you out, why would you not take it? It's just the information hasn't caught up with everyone yet, but I'm sure it will.
There are dangerous side effects. I
Yeah.
mean, if you are dangerous with it, you know what I'm saying? Like everything has dangerous side effects. But if you're doing it under medical supervision and you get your blood work done and you get all your blood panels all checked out and you're just filling in the blanks of what you need and what you're deficient in, I see no issue with it, right? I think with any substance that you put into your body, there's an element of like, you can overdo anything.
But like the age old saying, everything in moderation, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
And once again, I'm not saying blast and take steroids and everything, but I feel like people need to be more open to the conversation that it is not to be demonized. You know what I mean? Because it could lead to a dramatic shift in how middle age and after that people live their lives. Because you don't have to go through all of that deterioration.
Bro,
if you
it
don't
could
want to.
literally change productivity of mankind if we have that many more people still being able to work at their maximum capacity.
If we're talking about longevity and quality of that longevity, right? Who wants to live till like 95 and you're just like in a bed? And I'm not saying taking steroids will help you like get away from that, but it'll give you a better quality of life for longer. I'm sure we all know old dudes who are active. That could be everyone if you start early, and fuck taking steroids. That's besides the point. If you work out at a young age and you keep that consistently, that muscle mass will stay and it will be retained.
Before we move on to the next question, Aman, I want to let you guys know that we'd actually done a really funny skit when we were promoting the show
Yeah, on
when we
the-
just
yeah.
started. And it is, I think, our most viewed video on YouTube by far. So I'm going to put a card here for you guys to go check that out. And we actually shot it on this exact couch.
Yeah, that was funny, man.
Yeah.
That was like the first day.
That was one of the first times like all of us did something.
Yeah,
creatively.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shit.
good time. Dude, it's been almost a year.
8 months, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Damn.
Okay, this is a more fun one. Still from Neville. What's the best food to get delivered? So the actual item.
Oh,
Mm.
bruh, I gotta. I'm trying to maintain like a healthy lifestyle, so I would go for a burrito bowl. Otherwise, pizza just takes it, bro.
I
Like,
was gonna say the same thing. It's either gonna be like a pizza or sandwich. Burger is a different scene. I'm gonna go pizza or sandwich.
sandwich. Really,
Burgers
I hate when it gets like
deteriorate.
soggy. and
Burgers
shit.
deteriorate over time. Sandwiches stay.
If it's a wet sandwich, forget about it.
You're not gonna deliver a wet sandwich, bro.
You go for your sandwich. I'm going for a burrito
My
bowl.
ideal sandwich, shout out Nevi actually, is the KGC ham and cheese sandwich. So it's like minimal wetness.
Yeah, there's only
if
two
you wanna say.
ingredients.
Yeah, exactly. So
But-
like it's fantastic.
Like let's say like there's like a problem, there's a lot of traffic or something. It comes cold. A cold cheese sandwich.
Bro, anything comes cold if you leave it for long.
But that's my point, right? Like so pizza.
So that's why the burrito bowl, bro, because you can just throw that shit in the microwave. It's just rice, beans, maybe like a protein.
You can throw a sandwich.
The
in microwave
sauces
for like
come
10
separately.
seconds,
The
though.
guac comes separately.
But then think about like the effort, the impact of pizza. Just the box designed to keep it hot. You open it. It's like you can stack it. You can store it in the same box.
Yeah, but then you're
I
not
would-
taking your health into account. It's about how you feel after you eat the meal as well.
I think we're all going pizza straight up.
Pizza is the goal.
but
You can't
yeah,
fucking put
you
that
can't
in
go
the
wrong with
We're
pizza.
talking
Can't go wrong.
purely just you got to get food delivered to your house. I think pizza's just been optimized to the point that it
Yeah,
has to be
yeah,
pizza.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down with pizza. Yeah.
But I want to shout
oh,
out.
what?
I want to shout out like Chinese food, bro. Good takeaway Chinese in the containers.
Yeah, yeah. Because
That
that's
shit hits
also,
different.
you know why? I think because they take delivery into account as well, bro.
Yeah.
It's like made to be taken out. You know? Yeah, made to be delivered, bro.
But I thought that was a fun question. Now this next one, and we've actually had this discussion recently, and it's about competitiveness in the youth, or the
Mm.
youth too soft is what Rahul said. But
Mm.
you know what I think about this.
Yeah, I think Aditya and I have
No,
gone-
no, I don't know what he thinks about it. What do you think
We
about
did, we
it?
spoke about it.
I think that's bullshit. I think people are still competitive. I think the way society exists, it sort of promotes being competitive. You want to be number one. You want to have the best grades. You want to get into the best colleges. Everything we idolize, the people we watch on a day-to-day basis is about winning, FPL, betting, whatever it is. Like the numbers we look at, it's because we're competitive. I don't think competitiveness has gone down at all. And I think the argument that like, oh, everyone gets a participation trophy, or oh, they don't like want kids to compete against each other is it's all bullshit. It's because society inherently is so competitive that it's okay. Like when you're a 6-year-old, you're not trying to get them to fucking kill their friend just to win something.
Well, I think our generation maintains that competitiveness, and I feel like maybe 2 batches above and below us would say the same because we've had a similar upbringing. But there's definitely like a downturn in the amount of maybe aggression that is allowed to be shown in these kids when competing in sports and stuff. And like you remember when you were super young, it's like, yeah, you can say that like 6-year-old, 12-year-old doesn't really matter, but for them that is their experience, right? That like you can look at a 6-year-old sporting event, 6-year-old. Let's say like a 12, 13-year-old sporting event. For them, that is their entire world. That is the context in which they live. So if you minimize that and you're just like, okay, everyone gets a participation trophy, you are teaching them from a very young age. Because see, dude, as a 23-year-old now, you look back on it, you're like, it wasn't that important, right? But when you were 12 and when it was sports day, you woke up, you had your clothes ready, you had your shoes ready. Everything was about that sports day. You were with your entire batch, your entire school. Everything was about that day. If we take it away from them, we are teaching them from a very early age. It's okay. You can lose. It doesn't really matter that much. It's cool. And I understand what you're saying about the competitive aspect in academics, but I think that actually has taken away a lot from competitiveness in other areas, like sports.
Yeah, one thing
for
I did
example.
agree with Jay on when we were talking about this was there's the team building that went sorry,
Yeah, the team building.
the team building that
it does
came
matter,
hand in
bro.
hand with being competitive. It's like
Yeah.
like when you're competitive against the team, there's so much bonding that happens within
Yeah.
like people in
Yeah.
your social circle.
Yeah, of course. There's just it's a very social aspect of how to bond with your peers as well. You know what I mean? And I get the academic side of things. It is a fucking dog eat dog world out there with academics, but that is taking away a little bit from just the kids who want to do other things.
Bro, I think, pardon my French, that entire shit thing was bullshit. I think that was a straw man argument. I think what you've done here, say like, oh, we're like not letting kids compete. No, like you still know who the winner is. Just because you give like the worst kid a trophy, because you tell people that it's okay to try. The idea, a participation trophy is not because like, oh, everyone's a winner. It's that you made an effort, you tried, you weren't good at it, try something new. It's because you don't want to discourage kids at a young age. People can get better. Everyone still knows who number one is, bro. If you win the race, are you fucking telling me in school you didn't,
You're telling me.
you didn't fucking
I'm
know
sorry, I had to.
who the fastest kid in your class was?
No, of course you do, bro. But
Of
in
course
the
you
in
know,
the
bro.
context of actually winning, you are kind of minimizing it by giving everyone the same medal.
Everyone knows who the winner is. I think this whole participation trophy thing is just like, honestly, like this boogeyman created to like, oh, the youth are too soft. They're not, bro. It's honestly a way to like, we're trying to not sort of create.
You're trying to include everyone.
It's not about
And that's
inclusion.
fair.
That's
It's
not
fine.
about inclusion, bro. It's not about inclusion. It's about encouragement to try something else.
I don't think so. That's the thing. I don't think kids were discouraged. I think the encouragement of losing would be the best motivator.
How many people do you know,
know
in
what I mean?
sports day who didn't do a sport, would just come and lounge and chill and like not even care that they're not trying? You know, I know
A
people.
lot of people.
personally
Yeah, a
who
lot of
did
people.
this.
Yeah, a lot of people.
At least in this, where they're like, okay, shit, like maybe I could like get a trophy or something. Maybe I'll try, bro. If they fail, they fail.
You get the participation trophy, dude.
I'll be dead honest. We didn't have participation trophies. We know this.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course
My
you didn't.
stamina was terrible. But just for the fun of it, bro, I ran the like 400-meter race in school. I was 7th out of 8 people. By the end I was jogging, like waving my hand. I was just having a good time, bro. And it's because I was like, "Fuck, I'm coming for sports day. I might as well just do it, bro. Like I know I'm not gonna win. I know this is not for me, but I'll have a good time. Like I tried,
Yeah.
right? And exactly what Aditya is saying, which is like there's so many people who are like, bro, fuck it. Like, oh, I'm doing well here. I don't need to. But with like when you're a kid, it's because when you're a kid and you lose, like for you, losing is motivation. And for people who are competitive naturally and who are like sports people or athletes or whatever, that's always going to come naturally. And you're always going to want to win. And so everyone else getting a participation trophy is not going to take that away from you. That's the truth.
I'm not saying that a participation trophy is necessarily bad, but it encourages mediocrity. More often than not, in my opinion, it's like it's okay if I come 7 out of 8. I'm having a good time.
Dude, I
I'm
think
just
you're
running a race.
diminishing how self-aware the kids are. Like they know that they've come last. The
No,
trophy
I
doesn't
com-
help them cope with the fact
Bro,
that they came last.
No, I agree with you. They know they've come last, but there's no consequences to coming last.
Bro, that
You get the same
self-awareness is the
trophy, bro.
consequence. In any other case, if they didn't get the trophy, what is the consequence? It's that self-awareness.
But bro, all their lives they've gotten the participation trophy. They don't know what it's like to finish last because nobody finishes last anymore. It's all the same prize.
Dude, you're
you
off
get
on
the
this
same
one, bro.
prize.
You're off on this one.
I think especially right now when academics is being so encouraged and it's being given the utmost importance as it should. It's
No,
taking
I don't agree
away-
with that. It should not.
Cool.
Yeah.
It fair enough. I just didn't want to be this thing on that.
Bro, some kids are just not made for school, man.
Some kids aren't made for school, but that is what everyone is funneling them into these days, bro.
Yeah.
And there aren't any teams anymore. Like, as in,
That's
there are
not
inter-school
true,
teams, bro. But
what are you on about?
bro, kids do not play that many sports
That's
anymore.
not true at all.
They just don't.
What school are you talking about? I don't know where the
Bro,
fuck you're living.
with practice, they hardly fucking practice anymore.
What are
bro.
you talking about? Schools have the same practice that we had, bro. Where are you?
It's way less competitive. It is
Firstly,
way less
who
competitive.
is giving you this information on kids?
Well, I'm not going to disclose that. But, like, I mean, dude, trust me, it is way less competitive
I
than it
think-
has ever been.
I
bro.
honestly think this is just like one of those tactics where it's like, oh, you know how like
it's a generational thing, bro. Like I'm so sure my brother thought the same shit about my
Yeah.
batch and about us. and we'll think the same about them. They'll think the same about everyone because everyone thinks that their childhood is perfect and it's
Soft.
the best.
Pretty boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll send you that meme. I'll send it to you.
Thought Christian Leitner was soft. Overrated. Pretty boy. A bitch.
I don't know. We can move on from this. I thought that was interesting. This is a classic boys' night debate. It goes into other things, but the next one, again from Jay, is about like being optimistic. You had something about that.
Yeah. I guess what I wanted to try to say was, and this was actually because of a conversation I had with Aditya, it's like it is super, super tough to keep going when the finish line is not in sight. Like if you're kind of doing your own thing and like branching out, you kind of have the rules made around your schedule, right? Like you determine what is success for you, and that bar is going to keep rising and keep rising. And it's hard to keep going when the finish line is not in sight,
when it's not defined.
when
let's
it's not
say,
defined,
When it's not defined. Yeah.
right? Because you reach it and then you're just like, okay, one more thing, one more thing, one more thing. But life is not like a movie montage of you like training and then finally the final thing happens or whatever. It keeps going on and on and on and on. And in that process, there's going to be so many ups and downs that like if you aren't as committed and if you aren't staying as positive, even to an extent where it's like stupid positivity, when you just straight up should not be positive.
How did this come up when we were talking about it?
I just felt the vibes, dude.
Okay. Oh,
Like you
I-
were going through a hard time. I was going through a hard time. I felt like my finish line was undefined. I felt like yours was undefined. And I was just like, we both have good attitudes towards that because we both love what we're doing. So it's kind of easy to keep in perspective why we are doing this thing. But for a lot of people, sometimes, you know, you get lost in just the tedious details, man.
having that positivity can only come when you truly like enjoy what the process of what you're doing,
Yeah.
like where the
Yeah.
goal isn't motivating you to work more, but
Yeah.
just the fact that you couldn't imagine yourself doing anything else and having this much fun
Mm-hmm.
is what keeps you going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We couldn't, like,
Yeah.
I know for you,
Yeah.
you couldn't imagine
Yeah.
doing anything else and having as much fun.
Yeah, definitely not. What about you, Aman? I feel like you're pretty passionate about what you do as well. Like, I feel like it's not work for you.
No, I'm with you, bro. Everything you
Yeah.
said, I agree with. I think like it's all three of us have sort of stepped out of the general like what's expected of us to do. And I think it's tough, bro. Like honestly, I struggle a lot with like not having a routine because I'll have days when I have so much shit going on,
Yeah.
and then I have days when I'm just like out of it, and it just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
messes with you, right?
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't keep you going,
Yeah.
and then you have to sort of set whatever tasks to yourselves. And to go back to like the larger point about like optimism and shit, I think you like if you're not optimistic, like if you're not a glass half full kind of person, I think in the long run that's just detrimental to you and the people around you. I think you just some
Yeah.
sort of way you have to be optimist. You have to believe like what's happening is happening for the best.
I just have a good quote to wrap this thing up.
Oh,
It has nothing to do with this, but I
Oh, you
read it
just like the
recently.
quote?
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah,
quote.
send it out there, bro.
So the optimist looks at the glass half full.
Mm.
The pessimist looks at the glass half empty.
Mm.
The rationalist looks at the glass being twice as big as it needs to be.
Good stuff, bro.
Yeah.
That's a classic boys night
That is a
quote, man.
classic.
That's just
I
one
thought
of
he was
them,
gonna
man.
say like some shit like the rationalist looks at who's pouring the water, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah.
I think so. Let's move on to like another thing that's a classic of boys night.
Keep it light, bro. I want to pee in the shower again.
This this is from Kabir. Shout out Kabir. He was on the Kanye episode. This is an absolute classic. What animal can you take in a fight?
Oh.
What's the biggest
ooh.
animal?
What's the biggest
yeah,
animal?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what, dude? There's so many people out there who legitimately think that they can take a grizzly bear in a fight. Like legitimately, okay? Like it's shocking how many people think that. Damn, okay. You gotta be realistic with this one, man.
I think that a human.
Bro, come on. Just like a fucking animal, dude.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Aren't we all animal? Yeah, whatever. Fuck that. Yeah.
No, like
Okay, like an animal.
I'm going like a mid-sized cat. Mid-sized. like a
Bro, that's pretty easy.
like
man.
a puma, like not like a house cat,
Oh,
like
okay.
I'm talking about like
For
a
cat family.
bobcat or some shit
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
but like, wait, how much training do I have? How much prep time do I get, or do
Yo,
I just
you, bro.
encounter them in the wild? Okay. It's like this dude slaps your girl's ass. What do you do when it's the fucking puma, bro?
Do you think I feel like I could take a giraffe? They seem so docile,
They
you know.
but they're not. Gonna,
They are
They're not
because
gonna
the
attack
question
you,
is
bro.
who is the biggest animal I could take down, bro. Like their physics seems all fucked up with
Okay,
their neck and
okay,
shit.
okay.
You grab a hold of their neck, you're good.
Okay. Do you know what happens when a horse kicks you?
Yeah.
So can you multiply that by like 50?
No, I don't think that's strong, bro.
A giraffe? Dude, giraffes have to like fend off lions on a daily basis, bro. A lion pride looks at a fucking giraffe. They see a meal for like the next 14
Do
days.
you feel like a giraffe can't see its hind leg? You know what I mean? Like
they don't
just,
need to see it to feel it, bro?
Dude,
Just if you grab
you
onto
take
its
off
hind
one
leg, bro,
hind leg.
You take off what weapons are you working with, boy?
take out a hind
How
leg.
do you plan on take? Just give me the rundown on how
See,
you'd attack the
Okay,
knee.
first of all, they're like what 20 feet up in the air.
Okay, yeah.
Their vision is there. Okay,
Okay.
It's not looking at its hind leg.
Okay.
I pull up from behind,
Okay.
do a little side swipe, and
Ooh,
get
the
one of the
fucking
legs
side
off.
swipe.
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine a toddler did that to you. Like that's the same scale of that is what I'm saying.
Also, the giraffe knows you're fighting it, bro. This isn't one of those like sneak attacks, bro.
Oh.
Like the giraffe, the animal knows that you're fighting the animal.
I think I could take a giraffe.
Okay, I mean,
The giraffe will just sit on you, bro, and you are dead.
well, that's his opinion. I mean, he can.
Yeah, that's going. This is like just a side question. Would you rather fight a grizzly bear or a great white shark?
Holy shit. Whatever death is faster, honestly, for me. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
But like,
Genuinely.
like, okay, am I in the water? Is the shark gonna like rip out my intestines and I'm gonna have to drown and bleed to death?
No,
Or, like,
the water
is the-
seems way more
Is the
scary,
grizzly
bro.
bear gonna just be like thump and like I'm done?
I think I have the best answer, to be honest, bro. The giraffe. I feel like even y'all are on my side. Like y'all could do it, bro.
Bro, the giraffe is a terrible answer.
Nah, y'all are
he's like, oh, you guys will agree with me. Like, fucking. Okay, guys. So while we're on the topic of fighting animals and shit, I was wondering what your guys' favorite comedy specials are, because I feel like all three of us have very unique styles of comedy, but they could have an overlap, right? So like, what is your favorite
highly
comedy
doubt
special?
it.
What is your favorite comedy special?
See,
ever?
he's gonna pick
And
Amy
don't say
Schumer.
right now.
We already know
Oh,
this.
Ah man, what is your favorite comedy special, Aman?
I don't know if you've heard of this guy. It's this guy named Brent Morin. He was
No.
in a bunch of like sitcoms and shit, and he
Okay.
did a comedy special called "I'm Brent Morin," and the whole special is just basically him telling a story about him seeing his ex at this party, but he keeps like going off in tangents.
Okay, cool,
And
cool.
I think that's my favorite comedy special of all time.
Yeah.
But also shout out to Bo Burnham.
The singing guy?
Yeah, Make Happy.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
really
that
love
was
as well.
awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Bo's sick, bro. You should
Yeah.
check
I've
him
seen
out.
like a couple of specials. I thought it was kind of lame, but I mean, it is what it is. Comedy is so subjective, bro. Like, I don't
Who are you picking?
Dude, I'm going Dave Chappelle killing them softly, bro.
Hmm.
That has some of my favorite bits ever, dude. He's like the old Dave Chappelle, like on YouTube, crazy. Crazy. There's no beating that dude.
I agree. I don't agree with the special choice, but I agree that
Dave
there's
Chappelle,
no
like
beating.
young Dave
Yeah,
Chappelle,
young
no
Dave.
chance, dude.
Oh,
That dude walked away from some serious money just so he was like, nah, I'm good, thank you.
Then he came back and took all of it.
Then,
back.
yeah.
I'm going Norm Macdonald, who's easily
Mm.
my favorite comedian. Rest in peace. But
R.I.P., dude.
before he passed away, so he passed away during COVID when no shows were happening. He had planned to shoot this special. During the planning of this, he had a call with Netflix where he was just doing the special for them on Zoom. And he's like just in his house, there's a Zoom camera attached to him or whatever, and he's talking. He does the entire special in one take. Okay, and there's like disturbances, like his mom will call. Like at this point, people close to him know he's dying of cancer, but the public has no idea. And he's doing this special, and he like literally like there's this moment where his mom calls, and you just see this interaction as part of the special where he knows he's about to die, and he's talking to his mom from that context. And none of us know, bro, at
Yeah,
this
yeah,
point.
yeah.
No one on that call knows.
Yeah.
The whole special is just him on this call. I mean, not on the call, on the Zoom call.
Yeah, yeah.
And what a special, bro. Like, that shit had me in tears almost at the
Yeah.
end of it. And the way they did it is they played that special and then they cut to a room with Dave Chappelle, Conan, Adam Sandler, who was his best friend, all reacting to what they just saw and talking about him and kind of eulogizing him.
Yeah, you know, there's actually context to. I think you guys have probably seen that picture if you've been following us for a while of me and Aditya sitting on the steps. Forget what, we were in like Colaba or something, and you were telling me that this special right now. So that's the context. We can throw it up.
Yeah, I tried to do a joke from that special, and that's where we got the laughing
Yeah.
picture. We'll throw that up. Yeah.
I mean, there are also some other great ones that I think, you know, I've liked.
You want to give us some special shout outs?
I mean, Kevin Hart is amazing.
oh,
right?
fantastic, bro. Which
Just-
was the one where he was like the fire one? Oh, come on. You know you like that
I
one,
have
bro.
n-
You know you like the fire one. Come on
Which
now.
one is the fire one?
The hungry one?
Oh yeah, that
That's
one I
a-
do like.
that's
I do
hilarious,
Like
love
Kevin
that.
Hart's funny. I think.
Yeah.
Bro,
Not
his
funny.
most recent specials have been dog shit.
But
Don't even
you know
don't even
what?
fight
no,
me
no,
on
no,
this.
You know what? I think it's a product of his success, really, because like I mean, his earlier specials were fantastic, and he was talking about shit that like like his comedy style is very storytelling, and like a lot of his stories when he was younger, less famous, were maybe more radical, maybe more chaotic, and like dude, one of his jokes was like, "Oh, my son came down from his mansion steps and was
Yeah.
just like." What's the Wi-Fi? And then one of his friends like, who's Wi-Fi? Like you know what I'm saying? It's like it's lame, but like his
so
his
lame,
style
bro.
of comedy, his style of comedy is very very storytelling.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, these are the stories that he's telling now, right? But he's branched off into like movies and stuff. So he's
Yeah.
not really like the stand-up guy anymore. He's just like world famous comedian. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, yeah. I want to give love to Hassan Minaj's special, bro. That was
yeah.
amazing.
Both of his specials have been really
I love him. Like the production value he brings and stuff is
Yeah.
incredible.
He's a little bit dramatic for me, but I guess
Yeah.
that's his whole vibe. Right?
You know, he was on the podcast. You know, My First Million, the podcast, My
No.
First. He was on that podcast, and they asked him a question where the guy was like, and I agreed with what he said. He was like, "You don't seem like you're the funny guy in the room."
yeah,
You know, Hassan Minaj doesn't seem like
he
that.
doesn't. He doesn't.
So he really has to put in a lot of effort to bring that out,
Yeah.
and that dramatic shit is annoying at some
Yeah,
points.
it's-
But when you follow the entire special and you give in, you like, you know, that
Yeah.
suspended disbelief or whatever, you give in a little bit, you kind of enjoy
He's
it.
more of a performer than a comedian in the
Yeah.
sense that I feel like he has to work harder for his jokes, which is fine. Like I said, comedy is super subjective. It at the end of the day, bro, if it's making people laugh, fuck it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I'm a big fan of that kind of like where it's comedy because I
Storytelling
think
with
there's
the- yeah.
storytelling, like it gets a bit dramatic. I think there's a very fine line between comedy and like
Philosophy. Yeah.
philosophy, pain, trauma, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And I think if a special does that well, I think it's amazing. There's this special that's super critically acclaimed that a lot of like my more leftist friends or more woke
Uh-huh.
friends loved, and it gave me a migraine, bro.
Which
I just
one?
could
Which
not.
one's that?
It's I forget, bro. And it's
Is it
called
that chick?
Hannah Gatsby
yeah,
or
Hannah
whatever.
Gatsby,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Bro,
Even I tried. I couldn't.
I could not get through that special. Bro.
Really?
It was just, it was unfunny.
She won. She won like best special or
Something.
something.
Bro, I mean, apparently it was like masterful and all this shit. I just,
Okay.
I don't know what it was about that, bro. I just couldn't do it.
Special shout out to Daniel Sloss, dude. You remember
Yeah,
that
of
guy? Like
course,
super
yeah.
fucking dude.
Dark
Special shout
humor.
out to yeah. Have you seen his specials? There's like two. I think there's more than two on
Bro,
Netflix.
you
but,
gotta watch them.
he does that very well, where he will like blend his comedy with like a little bit of commentary towards the end. So funny, man. He is.
Those I
ridiculously
think are the
funny.
best specials.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
even Dave Chappelle's.
Dave Chappelle's.
stuff.
I thought Dave got too preachy towards the end,
Hmm.
but it is what it is, dude. Dave is so much more than a comedian now. Where
Yeah.
I feel like it needs to be said, right? You can't pigeonhole him in the sense
the
of like
last
just
bro the
being a
last
comedian.
special he did where it just he plays this trance thing too much and like it's just not funny.
But
bro.
there's like a rule in comedy where it's like you don't punch down, because if you punch down, that's bullying. That's not
Yeah,
funny.
that's what
you know
I'm
what I'm saying. I think that's one of the first conversations we had with Aman.
Yeah.
With Dave when we brought up Dave Chappelle, where it's like, dude, if you look at his older special, it's like, you know, Michael Jackson and like even OJ and stuff like that. And then when you get into like minorities, specifically this one, it's like, at what point is too much punching down?
I
is what
want
I'm
to be
saying.
honest about this because I feel like a lot of people may think this. When I watched the last special,
Hmm.
the way that he navigates storytelling, I was like, oh fuck, like I get this. I
Yeah.
agree with
Yeah.
everything
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying
yeah.
because he kind of put it in the context of like we care so much about trans women and everything, but where is the love for the black community? That was his whole thing, and I was like, yeah, the fuck, yeah, I agree. Then you go to Twitter and you see people like put across like well thought out arguments against why he's doing
Yeah.
something wrong,
Yeah.
and that's when I realized that oh shit, this is kind of fucked
Yeah,
up.
because then you get caught up in like the whole special.
Yeah,
thing,
and
then
you're
just
such a
like, wow,
fan that
yeah.
you're just like, oh, I want
Yeah.
to agree with
Definitely,
everything.
the first time I watched it, I was just like, yeah, this is hilarious. This is funny. And then when you go, actually, it was a conversation with Aman that we had that kind of
Change your mind.
changed my mind a little bit, where he was like, he's punching down. And I was just like, holy shit, yeah. Like, it's at that point, it's like almost like bullying, which
Yeah.
is the entire point of comedy is to eradicate that. You know what I'm saying? So,
But the thing is, he's like obviously supremely talented, probably like the goat, if one of the goats, if not the goat of comedy. And so he's really charming, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's where the issue also sort of lies because I think this is a bigger discussion, but because of the reaction from people saying like, bro, don't do that, it sort of pushed him further down, and he got like
Yes.
radicalized towards it. And then I watched the last special because I had a big argument with one of my friends who loves Dave Chappelle. And he was like, just watch it before you make comments. And like, yeah, sure. Obviously, there's stuff that's funny. You know it's going to be funny. I didn't particularly enjoy it. But it was also like, there were certain things you know he was saying just for the clicks.
Yeah.
Or he was saying just to piss
Yeah.
people off.
Yeah.
And then from to say, oh, I had a trans friend who like, she thought my joke was okay.
Yeah.
And then she killed herself.
Yeah.
So like, fuck
so
you guys.
so fuck everyone else.
Which is
right?
like,
I also think he's very anti-establishment,
yeah.
and this seems to be the establishment. So
Hmm.
he's like fighting the power or whatever, and that is maybe what it was as well. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, man.
I have such
I
an
don't know.
annoying story about Dave Chappelle. Can I tell this?
Of course.
I went for his show in New York, which I
Oh,
paid
dude,
like
I remember this, bro. Yeah.
I paid a shit ton of money for
Yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
nosebleed seats. I went with Shitij and Aryan and a couple of his friends, and we were like, okay, we had the ticket on our phone, which works in every other fucking concert. It's at MSG. We went there. And they're like, yo, you're here for a Dave Chappelle concert. Like, you better print that shit out.
Huh?
I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, you're gonna lock your phones. I was like, why can't you scan my ticket and then take my
go,
phone?
Yeah.
They were like, no, go print it out. So in the middle of all of this chaos,
Oh,
there's
that's annoying
at
as
least
hell, bro.
2,000 people running to FedEx printers
Yeah, oh,
at
shit.
9 p.m.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
2
yeah.
minutes before they're closing,
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
print their
yeah.
ticket.
That's just like some hype shit.
And
bro.
then
That's
whatever,
whack,
me and
man.
Shitij ran all over, printed it out, got back, and then we realized that we missed Ronnie Chang, who was the best act off that bill.
Yeah.
Because Dave was there, but he was kind of like
The
not that funny. They had cool musicians come or whatever. They had Busta Rhymes who fucking slapped, bro.
I remember you telling me about the Busta Rhymes
Yeah.
performance.
But I wanted to see Ronnie Chang. I love that guy.
yeah.
Shit. Okay, that was good. This is from Amal. Club night or bar night?
Bar
night,
night.
yeah.
Yeah,
night,
bar
any
night.
day,
I think
bro.
all of us are
Any
there now.
day. I
This
don't
is
even
this
have to-
conversation only happens at a bar night.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen at a club.
What? What? What did you say? Dave Chappelle. Oh, he's hilarious, man. He's hilarious. Oh, but I think he's really like, transphobic. He's too good. He's so funny.
Well, his actual question was table at a club or table at Leo's, which I sort
Table
of
at
really-
Yeah, table at Leo's.
Yeah,
Come on,
it's
bro.
bar night
I
every
feel
day.
like we don't even have to explain that shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. These are just some general ones. Was college worth the money?
Oh,
That's an interesting one. In terms of education, no. In terms of the experience, I don't think I would be doing what I am doing if it wasn't for college. So
I don't think anyone should go to college if they know that what they want to do has no bearing of which college you go to.
I
And I did not want to go to college at all.
Yeah, I think it's such an established thing, and like in many fields, like you have to have a college degree. But if you're doing something where it's not necessarily required, there's no point in just kind of.
You want to
doing
open
it
this
for the sake of
conversation
doing
up
it.
with Aryan? Because we were
Open it
talking
up
to
with-
him.
Oh
about-
yeah, that's true. That's
So
true. That's
Aryan,
true.
who's one of our camera boys, happy belated birthday, by the way.
Yo,
He turned
straight up, bro.
20 last week.
Let's give him a
and-
round of applause for
Yeah,
staying alive for 20, man. That's a big deal, man. It's a big
One
deal.
more year and we can share the pursue with you.
We'll do it off camera anyway. You got it.
It's actually 25, 5 more years. But he was talking to us about his parents wanting him to go to college to study what? Masters in? Okay. So the filmmaking still makes sense to me, but I asked him, "What is your end goal?" And he's like, "I just want to have like a full-time job." And I was like, "Yo, we'll give you a full-time job if
Yeah.
that is the end goal."
Yeah.
Then I'll.
This
Why?
is the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you've thought about it a little more. You want to tell us some stuff?
No,
No.
it's okay. It's okay.
Your parents watch it. You don't want
later.
that.
We'll talk about it later. Let's move on to the last and final question, which is Aman.
Tits versus ass. man.
Okay.
What are you going? You want to go on 3? I think we both know each other's.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, ass.
Ass.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it is. Aman, what about you? Personality.
Yes.
That's
No,
what.
but,
That's
I mean,
what I like.
I don't like. I'm.
You're just a righteous dude, man.
Okay,
rock
let's
on.
get
No,
into
I
it.
have an
Let's-
answer for this. Obviously, I have an
Oh,
answer
okay.
for this. Everyone has a fucking answer
What
for
is
this.
it? What is it?
Tits, but I think for me, it's just like we don't want to make it seem like we're objectifying women on camera.
So here's what we've concluded: the people who don't take pisses in showers and piss through their zip prefer the tits. That's what.
think that's
That's
a fair
the
conclusion.
scientific conclusion.
That is a fair conclusion to make.
Right?
That's the one.
Yeah.
The best answer.
Yep. That is pretty much what it is.
What do you think contributes to a preference with this specifically? Like it's got to be some.
Well, for me, it's like have you seen the clip of like Joe Rogan where he's like, oh, that girl is like deadlifting. You know what I'm saying? Like with the
okay.
the hamstrings and
Okay.
shit. Like no, like,
No,
You're a weird guy, man.
No,
No, dude.
bro,
come on.
look, dude.
Are you king shaming right now, bro?
Yes, I
Dude,
am. You're a weird
you
guy
gotta
sometimes.
you gotta build that shit, bro.
Are you watching like weightlifting porn or something? Is that your thing? Like, what the fuck, bro? You're telling me that's why you like it's just a biological thing. I think it's not like because
So
you like
what is it biologically?
Definitely
I
not,
don't think it's
bro.
because you like it you hate ass or something. Like,
No, I'm not saying that. But bro, Aman, it's like one takes time and effort to build.
like, are you kidding me, bro?
No, that's cool, bro. I like that. That's good. That's
What,
good.
dude?
That's
Look,
good.
look. No, of course it is, bro. Of course it is. It is that deep. What? This is a human interaction right
telling
now.
me-
Everything
you're
is that deep,
telling
bro.
me.
I'm telling you, bro.
That you look at a girl and you're like, damn, that girl be lifting. That's fucking hot. Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's your thing?
Yes.
Like when you watch porn,
Dude, I understand, bro.
I-
Like, why do you think girls like men in really good shape? It's because like it shows that you have the time, the patience to work on yourself. Right? It's the same fucking logic, bro.
time
It's
and
the
patience
exact
and
same
yeah,
logic that
yeah.
he's bringing here.
I mean, the whole idea there is with if we're talking about like go back to the cavemen, right? The stronger man would protect the family more, and then biologically.
Yeah, but if you gotta
women
pick up berries, you be squatting, right? You gotta
But
squat,
bro,
pick up berries.
that's another school of thought where you think your evolution like has biologically changed your preferences so much. But in our span of life, I think that makes a lot more sense to a lot more people than being like, oh, because my ancestors were looking for the fat women to like have babies with, that's why I like thicker women. Then that is completely, I don't think that's true, bro. Legit, they would look for thick.
No, wide hips, bro. He's right. But Aman, I'm telling you, I'm like, yes. He's like, so that's what you're telling me? Yes.
Yeah.
That is the reason.
That's why.
What's
That
your
is the
reason, bro?
What's your reason?
You
just
have
don't
a
know.
reason. I think
So
in the
that's
sense
even
that I
more
just think you just
confusing,
like why are you into certain things and not into certain
I'm telling
things?
you why I'm into certain
yeah,
things,
yeah.
and you're asking me why I'm into
I'm
it.
telling you I'm telling you that a lot of it is just like that's just who you are, bro. Like you're gonna have like your own fetish, your own kink or whatever, and that's just your shit,
Yeah,
bro. And
but
like,
what I was
I'm-
asking was for trying to rationalize where it comes from, and he rationalized it in a good way, I think.
yes,
And you haven't.
I don't have.
Yeah, you don't have a rationale. You don't have to.
You don't have to, but like I feel like I think my argument stands on its own. I'm not.
I mean, yes.
I'm not
We-
taking away from
We've
yours.
genuinely gotten the most heated over this one.
Yeah,
out of all
like
the fucking-
I'm not discounting your opinion. I'm just saying that is a preference.
Yeah, I get it. I think you're overthinking it. Is what my point is. I don't think it's because you're looking at, like, I think you don't, but when you're horny, you're not really sitting there and going like, oh, she puts the work in, so she'll put the work in, so I want to like.
No.
That's you're not doing like a psychoanalysis of
Bro,
like every single person you meet.
I
but,
think
like,
if you asked him the same question when he was 12, 13, he may have said tits.
yeah, that's
Because-
yeah, 100%. Because I wasn't lifting back then, bro. I didn't know, like, I wasn't attracted to that. I wasn't attracted to that type of body. There's a certain type of body you get when you're lifting, and that is what contributes to the attraction. Like, I'm telling you, like, this is legit. There's a lot of people out there who think this way, and you don't have to. It's not one or the other. But like,
Yeah,
a
we're all fans of both.
We're fans of
We're fans of both.
you know, body positivity, personality over everything, bro. Empathy, personality. You know, who's pouring the water, bro? That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
We're
you
all
know.
we're all feminists.
Yeah.
here.
Oh no, you can't say
No,
that.
we
You
can't
can't
say
say
that.
that.
Sorry,
That's
my bad.
no, you can't say that shit. You can't say that out loud. That's not. It's implied that
It's
you're
implied.
feminist. You know what I'm saying?
The
So,
implication is
it's the
there.
im-
Yeah,
that's-
well said. No, I'm with you.
Yeah. It is
I'm
what
with
it
you.
is. You want to shake on it?
Yeah. No, I yes. I think
One's
that's.
shaking the ass, one's shaking the
What-
titties, bro.
I think this is the like that. That was boys' night.
Yep,
bro.
yep,
You
that was
argue
boys'
about
night.
shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro. I think shout out
Good.
the boys.
Shout out the boys.
Shout out the boys. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel it's an awkward end. We never had an awkward end.
Yeah.
We should just
Yeah.
we should just cut somewhere in mid sentence.
Having said that, if we have a setback, I'll kick him off. I'll take the setback.
Okay, guys, so that was boys' night. If you agreed with us, if you disagreed with us, put it down in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And yeah,
I
from
want to
everyone
know
at,
reasons as well. Like, if you do pee in the shower, what's the reason? If you do prefer ass, what's the reason? I would love to
then
like
also, there doesn't have to be a reason.
yeah.
There can
but
if you want to.
We're trying to
there doesn't
build
have
like
to be a reason.
a intellectual community.
That's true.
And you
An
guys
intellectual
gotta,
community of water pourers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you
water
know,
pourers.
stay free, stay happy, and yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.